Today I'm going to do a test to see what makes the best pour over coffee. Is it going to be the Gabi A pour over or is it going to be the Bodum? That's right. I'm going to compare these two babies right here. Now, the Gabi and the Bodum are both pour over and they both are supposed to make some really good coffees. This one right here has a permanent filter made out of aluminum and it's supposed to just stay there and you never have to worry about, wasting coffee filters. Eco-friendly is what they call it. And the coffee I'm going to use is going to be this Kanaloa blend. And it's a really good coffee. I like to have it on the side every now and then, whenever I want to have a nice pour over. Whole bean is what these coffee beans are. All right, so the Gabi A comes in this nice little container. Everything's stored in there really nice, so you don't have a bunch of pieces all over the kitchen. And this is how it looks. Comes with the lid. And the pieces that are in there are like this. Now, putting this baby back in is a whole different story. You got to remember how you took it out because it pretty much stacks on top of each other a certain way. So it's 4 pieces, plastic, and the plastic is made to take some heat. That's right. It can handle the hot water. It kind of looks kind of different when you take it out. It can be intimidating, but, as you can see me fiddling around with this thing, I'm not sure what piece goes where. So as I look at it and I contemplate and not looking at the instructions, I try to figure it out on my own, just like most men do. Let's try and figure it out. Don't read the instructions. My wife always gets on me about not reading the instructions before I put stuff together. But hey, I like to do this type of stuff. All right, so here's my cup. Put on the first part. Put on the second and third part. And I don't think I have it right just yet. As you can see, I'm trying to figure out where does this piece go? All right, I think now I figured it out. It goes right here. Just like that. The cool thing about this Gabi A pour over is that it fits on different types of cups. As long as that bottom part can fit, then you're good to go. So that's one good thing I like about this. It's very, very user-friendly when it comes to different size cups. Here's I call it the Gooseneck Pourer, or I guess you can call it. Don't know the technical name for it. But they say you have to use a gooseneck one because the way the water comes out works very well with the way the hot water hits your coffee. Because if it hits it too hard or too fast, then your coffee can be affected by that. That's a whole different video. There's a lot of videos about pouring over coffee. And the Gabi A comes with a nice little manual and it tells you different ways to make different types of coffee, grind sizes and stuff like that. So for this one, I'm going to use the 2 tablespoons per 6 ounces of water. All right. And the instructions on my coffee container, it says if I want to have a weaker coffee, use 6 ounces in 1 tablespoon or use 2 tablespoons per 6 ounces to get a stronger coffee. All right. So I have my coffee beans poured out and it's time to hand grind. Now, if you've never hand grinded coffee, it does take a little bit of time, but in my opinion, it's so worth it. A lot of us don't have that time and we just buy the coffee grounds already grinded, but hey, each to its own. In this case, I like to grind my coffee just because I like to have it grinded a certain size. And for this one, I'm going to use a medium grind. Now with the hand grinder, it does have a little setting to whereas you can adjust how fine you want your coffee grinded. And like I said, I'm doing a medium grind. Oh yeah, now the filters that I'm using on the Gabi A are just small filters that I bought at my local grocery store. I'm sure on Amazon they do have filters that you can buy for this, specifically made for the Gabi A. All right, so I have my temperature of the water set at 96 degrees. And this is what takes time to get this good cup of coffee. You pour it in slow. It's like giving your coffee grinds a shower. And this takes a while to do. To get that cup of good coffee, it's going to make you earn it. because it does it really slow. And I fast forwarded the camera because I didn't want to have to talk through this whole thing or bore you with it. But as you can see, the cup is filling and it's done. Now it's time to move over to the Bodum. Now with the Bodum, like I said, it has that built-in filter. And I would say if you really want to pour a super slow cup, use one of the filters from a Chemex. You can go online to Amazon and buy the Chemex filters, paper filters, and they will fit inside this. Okay, so if you want that nice super slow drip, then get yourself the Chemex filters and use it on the Bodum. In this case, I'm using it exactly as I bought it with the built-in filter. Okay, so I have my 2 cups of medium grind coffee. And once again, I have my gooseneck with 96-degree water in it. And you start off with the slow pour and you pour it around the edges. And you also make sure you have a dimple pushed into the middle of the coffee grind so that way that water can hit right in the middle of it, really nice, and give it a nice contact with the water. All right, so the method to this one is a little bit faster than the Gabi Master A. I will tell you that. But you definitely should expect to get a different taste of coffee, even if it's the same brand of coffee. All right, so I just keep pouring in slowly until we get a nice cup of coffee. Okay, now that the water has been poured in there and the water is filtering through the coffee, we're just going to wait a little bit until we have ourselves a nice cup of coffee off of the Bodum. And then we get to taste it and compare the 2 flavors. I do notice that the water is still dripping just a little bit through the Gabi A. All right, so the Bodum is finished with this process of pour over. And now we put that little spout thing in there so that way it keeps the heat into the glass. And the drip on the Gabi A is finished. So now let's just put this little 4-piece set to the side. And I think we're going to give it a taste. Yeah, get my dad cup out. My daughter's in the background saying, "Dad, make sure you use that cup. I got you." So there we go. All right, now it's time for the smell. It smells strong. And the taste. Not bad. It's not bitter. It's not really acidic. It's a nice, solid cup of coffee. No complaints in this. Very good. And it's strong, like me. That's right. So this is a nice, strong cup of coffee. I do like the flavors. It's smooth. It's not tart, acidic, or anything like that. So now I think I'm going to dive into the cup of coffee made on the Bodum. Now on the Bodum, you do see some sediment, some settling on the bottom of the Bodum, but it's not bad. And the smell is kind of strong too. And the taste, different. I would say that the coffee made in the Bodum is a little bit more acidic. It doesn't taste as strong and fresh as the Gabi A, but the Bodum is not bad. But what I do recommend is you get yourself some coffee filters that you would use on the Chemex and you use it on the Bodum. That way you get a really, really good cup of coffee. So which one is the best for a nice, smooth, strong cup of coffee? I would probably go with the Gabi A. Yeah, the Gabi A. But I do like the Chemex style, which is the Bodum. So I would say get both, experiment with your coffee, and just give it a try. I like both of them. I'll see you on the next video. Me and my dad cup. All right, bye.